Well, hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome into another edition of Longshore and McKnight, brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It is a Friday, and Barry, even though there's some weather, we made it to Stivers Ford here in Montgomery today.
Yes, we are here without much difficulty. Now, that doesn't mean if you're watching and listening to us right now that you don't need to take a little extra care with the weather. Right now here in Montgomery at Stivers Ford Lincoln, we're at the Eastern Boulevard near where it intersects with the Troy Highway in Montgomery. And it's not bad. I mean, it is cold.
Yeah.
There is some rain. There is significant weather north of us. I know it's been snowing in Birmingham and south of Birmingham a little bit. So we made it here. We were originally scheduled to go to Prattville. We thought better of trying to deal with the weather up there. And so we're here in Montgomery.
Yes.
And it's fine. And this weekend should be good. I can tell you this weekend, the prices will be fantastic. Stivers Ford.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Barry. And of course, heading out, I'm sure you saw that as well. My thermometer in my vehicle said 35-ish, I think it said. So,
mine was 36.
It's cold today, but not freezing here in Montgomery and south of the capital. But as you mentioned, up north, a little more snowy and icy. So be very careful of that. But I'm telling you, Barry, there's no icy deals here at Stivers.
Oh, they're all hot.
They're very hot.
They're not even lukewarm.
Yeah.
They are hot at Stivers Ford Lincoln. And not only hot deals, but so many dang vehicles.
They're everywhere.
All over the lot.
Well, they are, man. You notice as you drive in from Troy and as I come in from my way here in Montgomery, there are vehicles even that I guess technically are not even on the lot. They've got so many vehicles that they've had to incorporate and buy other properties to put these vehicles on because there's so many vehicles here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. It is unbelievable. Now, we're here on the Lincoln side, and we're here a lot because of the sun. Today, we could have probably been anywhere because I don't think the sun's going to shine for a while.
Right.
But anyway, we're on the Lincoln side. We've got a Lincoln Aviator right here that is behind us, and we're going to talk about Lincolns today.
Why not?
Lincoln Luxury for Less to start 2025. How about a Navigator at up to 16 grand off or 0% APR for 60 months? 16 grand off.
I have to double check you on that
Right
one.
there.
He's right. $16,000 that you don't have to pay to get a 24 Navigator.
Yep, Lincoln Navigator up to 16 grand off. The Lincoln Crosshair up to 8 grand off, plus 0% for 60 months. Also, the 24 Nautilus up to 8 grand off, plus 2.9% for 36 months. They have got incredible deals here on their Lincoln lineup, Lincoln Luxury for Less. We certainly don't want to not spotlight the great Lincoln lineup because they are so beautiful and popular. But Barry, 16 grand, 5 grand, 8 grand, you can see how much money you're saving. Plus the percentage rates, the annual percentage rates are just, well, like you said, you can't beat zero.
That's exactly right. And not only that, but we got to reiterate one more time. It's not just this one behind us.
No.
They're all over the lot.
Sure.
Yours is right here waiting for you. Just come make your deal at Stivers Ford Lincoln on the Eastern Boulevard at Troy Highway. Glad you're up early with us. Theotis, he says, we're under a blanket here. Now, man. Theotis lives around Huntsville. I don't know if he means he's with Snookums under a blanket or whether there's a blanket of snow. But it is worthy of your extra attention this morning to deal with the weather. I navigated through from Troy, no problems at all, even though a little groggy. Yesterday, I called on ESPN Plus. Troy falls at home in a big upset to Texas State, 74-73. Got back home.
Was it a buzzer beater?
It was a free throw with 1.1 seconds to go.
I mean, that's like a dagger. I mean, you're sitting there on the free throw line going, I hope this guy misses.
It was 73-73. Yeah. Kid for Texas State scored 27 in the game. Was having a good game. And Troy fouled him with 1.1 second to go.
I bet the coach didn't like that.
It was not good. But he misses the first free throw.
Was the crowd in it?
The crowd's in it.
Yeah.
He misses the first free throw. Guy's an 80% free throw shooter.
Ooh.
And the second one rattled around and it fell. And there you go.
I mean, if you're going to make it, just swish it.
I
mean, don't let it bounce.
The first one.
Yeah, and don't let it bounce around and just roll in. Oh, that's tough. Tough way to lose it. I'll
But
tell you what else was tough. Oh, go ahead.
but got done with that, wrapped all that up, got all the equipment, and came back. And I was listening on the way home
Yeah.
to the ESPN radio broadcast of the Orange Bowl, which, during our telecast, we were tracking that score.
Sure.
And there wasn't a whole lot going on
Very
for a
slow.
long time.
Yeah.
And I got home in time for the middle of the third quarter, and it picked up just a little bit. But, John, that fourth quarter was nuts.
Yeah, it really was. It was a really, really good football game. You're right, Barry. You didn't miss anything.
I didn't, evidently.
First half, kind of boring, kind of dull, kind of slow. You could to me, it's like, well, here we go. This is Penn State Notre Dame from 1982. I mean, it just, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of stuff. And then they started opening up. And maybe I shouldn't view football this way. But, Barry, I've got a soft spot for Bama fan out there. It's a tough time of year for them. It's been a tough road for them this year. I mean, I kind of feel for Bama fan out there. I know it's been tough. And as I watch that, I'm thinking, man, this has got to be tough on Bama fan. You got two tradition-rich blue bloods going at it in the Orange Bowl. Barry, they even brought the Capital One guy out for the coin flip.
Oh, I like that guy.
Yeah, they brought him out.
That guy. I saw him over on the sidelines, and he's like juggling something over there.
And I'm thinking, man, Bama fan, this has got to be tough. And here Notre Dame, well, they win the game.
Yes.
If we didn't tell you, 27-24. And Bama fans got to be going, oh, I just can't take this anymore.
Well,
this should be us. That's how I think Bama fan looks at it.
Well, it was so many different nuances. And again, really the game was the fourth quarter. Everything else was kind of a prelude. But a couple of things. The quarterback play was not elite, but their competitiveness was.
No doubt.
I mean, the numbers were not great for Drew Aller for Penn State or for Riley Leonard of Notre Dame.
I think threw 2 picks in the game.
Yeah. And but the big pick was Aller's.
Yep.
I mean, you're in the final minute. Well, first of all, you had a lead in the fourth quarter. You had the football in the final minute, and he throws the interception. And all of a sudden, here comes Notre Dame. They handled it well. And they got the field goal, the 41-yarder from Jeter, to win it. And golly, you feel for Drew Aller. You really do, because that's a tough one. And he had been playing well all season long. Here's a trend I like.
Okay.
And I'm seeing it more in the last couple or 3 weeks. At least I'm noticing it more. After the game, Riley Leonard, a proud son of Fairhope, Alabama. How in the world he ever...
Well,
Auburn could have used him, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, so could have somebody else.
Well, maybe, but afterwards he praised Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen before, over and over again. The Boise State head coach Danielson in the post-game press conference and all that. It's not something that I believe is scripted or anything like that. It's from the heart and all that. But I do like that. I also, this one was was interesting to me. At the very end of the game, Aller throws the pick, and they kept on showing over and over again as Notre Dame was driving down and getting to position, showing that poor kid on the sidelines with his hands on his helmet and everything. Even Dee, my wife, and I were like, she said, stop doing that. I mean, that's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, it is.
He didn't necessarily lose the game because, believe me, they wouldn't have been in that position without him. But golly, the networks love to kind of just grind on the guy when he's down.
I guess it makes for good theater, I guess. It's kind of like the old train wreck scenario. Don't look, but everybody's going to look. And I guess in the day and age of NIL, I mean, hey, if you're making money, we're going to show you blowing the game for your team. But I get it. I mean, it's a team sport. It's not just one person, but that was a vital mistake late in the game. And they picked that up from the NFL. They do that all the time in the NFL. They show the coach. I mean, every time there's this critical play, they're showing the coach, and you're just hoping, don't pick your nose. This is they're on camera. Hopefully the guys upstairs are saying, Coach, you're on camera. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
It's like when they show the owners in the NFL. I'm going, I don't care. I don't need to look at this billionaire. I could care less.
That's right. He's sitting there. He looks like a cigar store Native American.
Yeah.
the other thing, and James Franklin, when the kid kicked the field goal, I mean, you could see every pore in his face and everything. They were real close up, and he didn't have much of a reaction. If you notice this, and I got to give props where props are due.
All right.
If you've noticed this during the week in our run-up here on Longshore and McKnight, and we're talking about the 4 remaining teams, more than once, John brought up the reason why he liked Notre Dame, why he's been impressed with Notre Dame, is their resilience. They play clean football. They play hard. John, I think that was the difference in the game yesterday.
I'm with you there, Barry. And we talked about the 2 interceptions, and it didn't rattle them. That team, and nobody's pointing fingers. Nobody's getting rattled. We're just going to go back, take care of business. And I'm with you. They are so disciplined, and they know what they're doing. Nobody seems to ever be lost for Notre Dame.
They lost 2 offensive linemen because of injury.
Yep.
Riley Leonard had to leave for a little while. What happened? That backup quarterback, Steve Angeli, right down the field, knew what he was doing, knew what the situation called for, didn't try to play beyond his abilities.
Correct.
And he was a big difference in the game. But I thought the mental toughness, not to say Penn State was not, but I thought the mental toughness of Notre Dame and how well they were coached,
sure thing,
made a big difference at the end.
I totally agree. And Sean McDonough pointed out those 2 linemen, offensive linemen for Notre Dame. He actually made the statement, they're playing better than the starters during the game. It was in the first half, and he brought that up, and I'm thinking, wow. And there again, these guys stepped in. They knew their role, and they did not miss a beat. So, yeah, I mean, very impressive. After that loss to Northern Illinois, this team obviously regrouped and got it together and has been on an incredible run. I don't think they're the most talented team athletically out there, but they make up for it in so many other ways. And they fooled me. I thought Penn State would win the game, and they did not. Notre Dame moves on to take on the winner of tonight's matchup out in Dallas. Can you get to the game? I mean, I saw a picture of Dallas, and it was like 3 feet of snow out there.
That's the issue. I mean, the Cotton Bowl, it's indoors,
yeah.
Obviously. It's not going to affect the game, but it's getting there and getting situated and getting out. That's going to be a real issue. 6:30 tonight, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, Laura Rutledge on ESPN tonight. I've got my thoughts about that game and the Notre Dame-Penn State game, which was a classic. So does John. Notre Dame-Penn State, I don't know that we could do better than the synopsis provided on a River Region Straw chat line from Terrence.
Oh, Terrence is all over it today.
Terrence said, and I quote, this is his words, not mine. These are his words. He says, quote, Drew Aller unfortunately whizzed down his legs last night, and Franklin got the yips in big games. Terrence says he is 1-14 in big games. That's about my average, picking up a 5-star hunting on the rebound.
Yeah, wow.
1-14, Terrence? That's not what I heard about.
Yeah, come on, Terrence. Give yourself a little bit more love.
You got a little game.
Yeah, 1-14, no way. You at least at 50%.
50% is a good. 50% is a good average.
I mean, in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer if you're that. I mean, you kidding me?
He may be a Hall of Famer. Picking up 5-star honeys on the rebound.
Didn't Gracie do that? Did he pick up honeys? They weren't 5-stars.
No,
they were slump busters.
No, yeah, that's exactly right.
How about my man Tobias out in Arizona today? He thinks Penn State and Notre Dame both going to hit the portal for a quarterback?
Well, they both hit the portal for a quarterback. Well, I know Notre Dame did. I know Ohio State did. I know Texas did. I think Philip Marshall pointed it out this morning in his Friday morning musings. The only teams that are left now are teams with transfer quarterbacks. And 2 of them, Will Howard from Ohio State and Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, are there for just the grad year. They're just there for 1 year. So
in Phillips' musings, Barry, did he also mention that Auburn won the national championship, played for a national championship, won SEC titles? And
not this time.
Not that time?
But he did have a nice little segment in there entitled, It Takes Money to Win. That was Philip. Classic, John. If you want to read about some of the things that are required to be successful in football, Philip says a lot of money is one of them.
Hello, man,
Yeah.
he has cracked the code.
Wow.
Well, we've cracked the code for you here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. Told you about the Lincoln lineup just a moment ago. What about the Ford lineup? As we told you, they are vehicles not only all over this lot, but all over lots surrounding the dealership. I mean, they are taking up and buying up property because they need it for all the vehicles they have in Montgomery for you to check out. So they've got your vehicle right here. I can promise you, if you're looking for something and it's not at Stivers right now, I can't imagine what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you looking for? A go-kart?
Yeah. How about a Bronco? Up to 10 grand off MSRP, starting as low as $34,990. Ford Escapes as low as $24,990 and 1.9% APR for 72 months. You drive an Edge. My brother drives an Edge, and you can get one right now at 11 grand off. 11 grand off an Edge. Did you get 11 grand off yours?
I did not. I got a lot. I got a lot off of my Edge, which is a 2022. But 11 grand is 11 grand.
You better believe it. That's a pretty good deal.
That's opportunity 9 here at Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Eastern Boulevard at the Troy Highway. We'll recap a lot. Special guests coming up during our show today. And yes, all of you guys on the chat line, we will break down Ohio State and Texas. That's coming up as well. Plus, a thought or two on the NFL wildcard weekend.
Yeah, I think I saw a reserve party out there for the Phantom, so he's going to break down all the wild card games, I believe.
There, yeah.
Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk Old Sheet. So yeah, we got a lot going on out here this Friday morning. Be careful out there. Montgomery South Road seemed to be pretty good. You're in pretty good shape. Barry drove up from Troy today.
No problem.
So should be in good shape. So come out and see us here at Stivers, where Price sells cars.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight from Stivers Ford Lincoln on the Eastern Boulevard at Troy Highway in Montgomery in association with Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, this is Barry McKnight from Longshore and McKnight, telling you about our friends at River Region Straw. You're not buying sticks or stems and pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color, that'll last all season long. They've got locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small. From a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load, River Region Straw also has seasoned firewood for the cold days and nights ahead. Pickup is available, and your order can be delivered if you like. They can even spread your pine straw if that's what you want to have happen, for sure. Call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw and firewood needs at River Region Straw.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. In sports, if you think joy only happens after...
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the River Bank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust.
Okay, here we are back at it on a Friday morning. Cold outside, a little rain, but no ice and snow here, so we're good. If you're watching us this morning, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, you can check us out at yellowhammernews.com as well. And we certainly really appreciate our association with those guys.
Yeah, we look forward to checking them out every day. It's one of my first stops whenever I get ready for things. I love the column, 7 things you should be talking about.
I love it too.
You don't ever miss anything there, and you can look smarter with your buddies at the water cooler at work every day.
Barry, I know this story grabbed your attention. I heard it yesterday as well. A new voice of the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, it's a guy that I've known for a long time. It's been highly valuable to John and I for many, many years, being associated with Bob Kesling, the voice of the Vols and the Tennessee Broadcaster of the Year this year. In his final year as the voice of the Tennessee Volunteers, he's been so gracious to us, John. I'll always tell the story about Bob. When Jim Fife passed, there were so many people, including you and I, at his funeral service. One guy, one SEC voice, was sitting there by himself in the back corner, not drawing any attention to himself, and it was Bob Kesling. And I talked to him. Great guy, does a wonderful job, great legacy for Tennessee. They hired Mike Keith yesterday to take his place. He'll debut really in the fall with the football team. He's the voice of the Tennessee Titans. He had been with the Vol Network for a while as a young pup. But he's been the voice of the Tennessee Titans ever since there were the Tennessee Titans.
He's a Tennessee grad.
He is a Tennessee grad, I think twice. He's got a master's.
Wow, look at that.
From Tennessee. But he's been the voice of the Titans for years and years. You leave the Titans job. It's
is he going to leave them? Because I know some people do both. The Tampa Bay, the Atlanta guy.
I didn't think about that.
I just was curious. Yeah.
I didn't. I'll have to read the release on that. But Mike is a terrific broadcaster. The deal is that he's going to be the voice of Vol football and basketball. Gene Deckerhoff, who does the Bucks in Florida State, he does not. He does just Deckerhoff did basketball. That's a good point. My thought is Keith is terrific. It is a huge workload on him if he's going to be both Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Vols. But he's terrific.
He is good. I've listened to him do Titan games. He's exciting, and we've had him on. It's been years ago. Yeah. But he's really good. I think Tennessee fans are going to be happy with him. There again, I've enjoyed his work. I just thought when I heard that yesterday, I'm thinking, well, are you leaving the Titans to do, or are you going to do both?
I hadn't thought about it.
It's probably a little bit more exciting doing Tennessee games than Titan games. That's just me, but who knows? I know the NFL's the top of the line, so to speak. And I will say, if I'm in the car on a Sunday, I will listen to NFL on the radio, mainly because I like listening to Deuce McAllister. Really, you can just sense it in his voice. He's mad. He didn't like what play they ran, and he's about to let you know it. He's kind of like Snake.
My guy for the Jacksonville Jaguars is Frank Frangie, the voice of the Jags. And his color analyst is Jeff Lageman. And they also have Tony Baselli. Lageman sounds just like Jesse the Body Ventura. He's no Ron Wolfley, Theotis, but he does a really good job. This caught my attention as well. This caught me by surprise, and it kind of dovetails off our guy Terrence. We're going to saddle you up, and we're going to ride you this morning. Terrence says he's the one that's was talking about picking up 5-star honeys on the rebound. Terrence says, as a Miami Hurricanes fan and supporter, I was hoping both teams could have lost. But to no avail, as Notre Dame prevailed. By the way, my Hurricanes host Notre Dame to start the upcoming season off week 1. Is Miami going to open the season against Notre Dame with Carson Beck as their starting quarterback?
How about that? Yeah.
How does that strike you? Georgia quarterback led them to the national championship game last year, got hurt, wasn't able to play in the playoff game, which they lost to Notre Dame. You think Alabama fans are sick to their hearts. How about Georgia fan right now? And Beck was going to go to the NFL draft. He mentioned that right after the SEC championship game.
What do you think he found out?
I don't know. That's the whole thing just strikes me. He is not going to go to the NFL draft. He is entering the portal, and he's leaving Georgia for a grad year. And I'm thinking, why? You're the starting quarterback, maybe one of the most talented teams in the country, and you're going to the idea. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. My parents lived in Mandarin for forever, and he's from Mandarin High School. The idea is that he's going to go to Miami to play for the Hurricanes. Must be money, but geez, if they can beat Georgia NIL money, I don't know.
That is very interesting. When I saw that, I went, man, that is, I didn't see that coming. Kind of like Barry yesterday on our chat line when everybody was letting us know that Trump was talking to Bo. And I'm thinking, Bo Jackson? Is it Jimmy Carter's funeral? Then I figured it out. It was Barack Obama. So I'm going back and watching some of the news from the funeral yesterday. It was a beautiful service. The cathedral is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
If you're ever in D.C., you ought to go by.
It's the National Cathedral, right?
Unbelievable. It is just gorgeous. And I'm kind of checking it out. I mean, it sounds like Barack and Trump are buddies. I mean, they're sitting there chit-chatting, leaning
They're next
in.
to each other. I'm telling you, Trump was having a better time just, bebopping along with B.O.
Yeah.
And Pence is back there like 4 rows back.
Oh,
He's by himself, twiddling his thumbs, looking at the hymnal or whatever. You had W over there. He's about 2 seats away from Hillary and Bill, who were sitting together.
But did not even make eye contact with one another. So there again, I'm still thinking they might just show up together, but there's no chit-chat, no eye contact. But I'm thinking, were Trump and Obama talking about, hey, man, when we playing golf next or something?
Yeah.
Because they were in this long chit-chat, and then I saw where they had a lip reader trying to distinguish what they were saying.
I've seen that. So I've seen clips before where they have a lip reader like looking at the crowd of the Oscars or something like that. I'd have been interested there.
Woo,
That's
you ain't
for
kidding.
sure. Yeah. But what your question before is, what do you think Carson Beck heard? I'd like to see a lip reader, with the NFL draft experts. He dipped a toe in, wanted to find out what his draft likelihood would be. And obviously it drops because he hurt his elbow.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go ahead and go longshore on it. I don't think he's that good. John.
Well, I don't either. I think he's had a tough year. No doubt he's injured. NFL, probably thinking what's going on.
Last year he benefited from
his game.
Last year he benefited from McConkey. He benefited from Brock Bowers hugely, the run game and everything. This year they're still really, really good, but it wasn't the same. And he's got to remember, throw it to the guys with the G on the side of your helmet.
Yeah,
that was a big problem.
I wonder, Barry, if there's more money there in Miami than would be in Athens. I find that odd. Maybe it is. A lot of these quarterbacks in the SEC are making a lot of money. I understand that the 16 SEC quarterbacks made more money than Brock Purdy, a third-year quarterback at the 49ers. That's hard to believe. I have heard that Purdy's not making a lot of money, but all 16 of them. But what about this? Maybe
Whoa. Peyton Thorne made more money than Brock Purdy.
He threw less interceptions. Believe it or not, Peyton Thorne threw less interceptions than Brock Purdy.
Against sophomores in college.
Yeah. I find that hard to believe. What I don't find hard to believe.
Patrick Surtain and who are some, that's a bogus comparison right there.
And I wonder also Brock Purdy is transferring to Miami because his girlfriend plays basketball there.
Oh, Carson Beck. Her name's Haley Cavender.
Yeah, I can see why he's
Haley Cavender. I can't think of what her sister's name is, but they're twins. And they have transferred from somewhere out in California. I want to say Stanford or something.
He wants to be in Miami
for NIL. The Cavender twins, along with Olivia Dunn, the gymnast from LSU, and Caitlin Clark from Iowa, have set the bar for female athletes in NIL.
Yeah,
except for different reasons. Yeah. Caitlin Clark was really proficient in her sport. The Cavender twins, I don't know how good they are at basketball. I suppose they're all right. But that ain't why they're getting all that NIL.
No, not at all. And the gymnast for LSU, Barry,
Lydia Dunn.
Is she the one that does those commercials for the workout clothes? It's
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
Olivia Dunn.
I thought so. I thought she looked familiar.
One
I saw that
final thought,
commercial recently.
since we're packing all this
Yeah.
in. One final thought. This was awesome. Again, I didn't see it until the fourth quarter because I was doing my game, and before I got home, they had a commercial. I think it was an automotive commercial with Tim Tebow was in it and everything. And at the very end, they had DeMarcus Ware. You know, just because you're good at sacks in the NFL doesn't mean you're good at sacking if you're after your NFL career, if you're sacking groceries. And he had his Troy jersey on. National television commercial.
Awesome.
DeMarcus Ware, Troy right across his chest and everything. This is awesome.
And what was the product?
It was an automotive commercial, I think, or automotive insurance. It might have been.
Awesome.
I don't really remember anything except thinking, there's DeMarcus. And he's got his 94 Troy jersey on. It's awesome.
Man, great representation for the Trojans. All right, Barry, we're here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery where Price sells cars. Been telling you about all the great lineups here. Start 2025 off on the right foot. America's best-selling truck.
Yep.
For 50 years. Yeah. 50 years. America's best-selling truck is the F-150, the Ford F-150. You see them all over the place. 1.9% APR for 60 months or up to $15,000 off MSRP and no payments for 90 days. Now, just take a guesstimate because I don't know, but just the eye test. How many F-150s do you think are on the lot right now here at Stivers?
Got to be three figures.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
50, 200.
Yeah, easily.
200. I'm saying 200 is my low mark because, I mean, they're all over. And like John says, they're parked on the medians here in the lot. They're parked down the line. They've got properties just off the main lot that has F-150s. I'm looking right now. There's 14 of them right here, just looking in my little sliver out here looking at the lot.
In every color you can think of, every trim level package you can think of, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 2-door, 4-door, extended cab, extended bed, you know the deal. They got them. They got what you want right here at incredible savings up to $15,000 off or 1.9% APR for 60 months, and you don't pay for 90 days on America's best-selling truck for over 50 years.
Hello.
What are you waiting on? It's here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars.
Big shout out to all those people on the chat line and all of those guys on my text, on my phone, shouting out when I couldn't remember Haley Cavender's sister's name, her twin's name. Everybody says, Hannah. Okay, all right.
I'm getting blown up. Hey, can you send me a picture of those two twins that you showed Barry?
Come on. Yeah. They are very popular.
I can see why.
And so are we. Hit the like button for them. Hit the like button for us as well. It's Longshore and McKnight here at Stivers in Montgomery in association with Yellowhammer News, brought to you by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Well, here we are back at it on this Friday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The first semifinal game is in the books with Notre Dame winning.
Oh, 27-24 final. I don't know what the line was or who covered.
Notre Dame covered. They were laying one. How about that? You're Penn State. The game's tied. You got the ball. You're thinking, here we go. Because not only are they going to win the game, which I don't really care, but they're going to cover, which I do care. And boom.
Yeah, interception. Notre Dame kicks the field goal, and they move on to take on either Ohio State or Texas for the national championship. It's the first. People were bringing up, it's been 12 years since Notre Dame played for a national championship. And I'm thinking, did they really play? I mean, they were there. They were like spectators watching Alabama receivers go by them because they couldn't keep up and everything. 1988 was the last time that hallowed program won a national championship. And John and I have been going back and forth for years. John, you know, whenever we mention Notre Dame, he's like, oh, Notre Dame. Touchdown, Jesus. Newt Rockne.
So good.
Ara Parsegian and all that. And I'm thinking, I don't get it. I don't get it. I watched Rudy, you know, when I got buddies who went to school at Notre Dame and all that. I don't get the mystique. And John, you just don't understand, Barry. If you don't know, I can't explain it to you. Well, I'm here to tell you, I like this Notre Dame team.
I do too. You know, I as much as it, you know, we've talked about Notre Dame over the years and this, that, and the other, just the way they play. I like their head coach. I like their team. I like their discipline. To me, Barry, Notre Dame's kind of an old school team. To me, they've kind of turned the clock back a little bit. They don't seem to be as into maybe what a lot of players are into today, which is themselves.
Let me tell you, all of the preening and high stepping and moonwalking and all of that, I know that helps your brand or it helps your screen presence or something, but it ain't got a thing to do with success. And that's what Notre Dame believes in. Just do the things that help you. Don't do the things that hurt you. Play really hard. I love their coach, Marcus Freeman. He is a star, 39 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if they'll – it's like my buddy Bobby T, smartest man I know. Bobby T says, I think Georgia could have beaten anybody in this deal. Georgia's got a real missed opportunity. He thinks the only team left, and he counted Penn State from last night, that could beat Ohio State is Texas.
Yeah.
But who knows what you get from Texas?
You don't.
You know?
And I think tonight's game is going to be really, really interesting because I think Texas is, you know, they're going up against Georgia, and we've seen what's happened with them going up against Ohio State. And I think that's going to be a whale of a game tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Barry, joining us now, and we're certainly excited to have State Representative Reed Ingram from District 75. This Reed's first time on the program with us, and we're certainly glad to have him on. We're in this area. We're in this district. We live around here, and we certainly look forward to talking to Reed this morning. Hey, Reed, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a little frosty out there today. Hope everybody's doing good.
Everybody's doing great. Reed, of course, represents District 75 in the Alabama House. He also owns Sweet Creek Farm Market in Pike Road, one of my favorites. Reed, can I embarrass you a little bit? Can I brag?
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. That'd be fine.
Sweet Creek Farm Market has the best sandwiches that you could ever imagine. And I'll tell you this as well. Reed, they've got the friendliest staff out there. They always greet me like I'm a long lost friend and everything. And they make me feel at home. They know that I'm probably going to order one of those sandwiches because I love them. It's a wonderful place to stop in and just browse or to get a bite to eat. Love that place. Delicious food, fresh ingredients, and the atmosphere just can't be beat.
Well, thank you for your kind words. I've got a great staff, and I have been very blessed. But really blessed to have good customers like y'all, and I appreciate what y'all bring to this area and listen to the show, and I appreciate the wisdom from y'all.
Well, thank you, Reed. We greatly appreciate that. Now, obviously, when you're not, at Sweet Creek and handling business, you, as we mentioned, state representative, District 75. Tell us, what's on the docket, what's coming up in 2025 on your calendar for District 75. I think the door's open.
Yep.
Remember back in the day, it said door ajar.
Yes.
On there. We might have lost. Reed, you there with us?
I'm back with you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we got you. Yes, sir.
I was just asking about for 2025 as a representative for District 75. What's on your roadmap? What's on your plan for the year 2025?
Well, I think this year is going to be a year to see what we can do about crime in some of these larger cities such as Montgomery, Birmingham, Mobile. And I think we need to come up with some new laws to hold these leaders in these municipalities accountable to make sure they uphold the law. And I think it's weak right now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I know that there's a bill that you're bringing up this year to create a process for the state, the attorney general, to appoint police chiefs to run local departments. They just, announced a new police chief here in Montgomery. What can you tell us about that bill?
Well, I think that, when there's a crime committed, such as a murder or attempted murder, a felon, the city doesn't have any skin in the game. If the crime is committed, they don't have to try the person. They don't have to house the person. There's no expense to the city. And a lot of these municipalities now don't take it as a high priority. But we've got to change that, and it's got to be a high priority. Public safety, when you're an elected official, in my opinion, public safety should be first, and education.
You public safety and your support, your steadfast support, Representative Ingram, of law enforcement means a lot to me. My son is a law enforcement officer. And when you're talking about strengthening law enforcement, reducing recidivism, the tendency of criminals who commit a crime to commit another crime, you're talking about the whole picture. It's not just supporting law enforcement officers, like you intimated a moment ago. You're addressing the entire system. Give us an idea of what the system can do to turn out better members of society and reduce recidivism.
Well, I tell you, a lot of these municipalities, the law enforcement are not respected. And I think that, we've got to make sure, as in my restaurant, when a law enforcement walks in, 9 times out of 10, we pay for their lunch. And people have got to respect, these young kids have got to start respecting that is the law. And I think that it starts at home, and it also starts in the juveniles. And juveniles getting in trouble is another bill that I've got to make sure the parents are accountable for that juvenile. If you get in trouble, we want to see that parent, and we want to see that guardian, and there's got to be an intervention to go through. And I think that we just got to start putting law enforcement on the top.
Reed, people have asked me about this. I don't know the answer, so I'll ask you. In Montgomery, it is my understanding that not only does the local police force have jurisdiction, but also the county with the sheriff's department and the ALEA with the state troopers are here helping patrol and protect and serve in Montgomery. Is that the case in other big cities like Birmingham and Mobile?
Well, everywhere you go, the law enforcement that trumps the sheriff, trumps the police chief, and also the game warden and the state troopers trump the local police department. So the sheriff is the top law enforcement for the county. And so other than the state, the state will be out trumped. I mean, they'll out trump the state. But we have put a task force together with my speaker, with Hal Taylor and the sheriff. There is a task force put together in Montgomery, and you'll see other task forces being put together in other larger municipalities soon as well. But we have made a big dent in it. We've picked up several people with guns that shouldn't have had guns. A lot of warrants have been served. A lot of people have been taken off of the street in Montgomery.
And I just noticed this incident that happened earlier this week, Reed, where the person was shot and killed on Zelda Road. I mean, there were not only MPD, but there were sheriff's departments, the state troopers, helicopters flying around. I mean, all three of those agencies were there during
working
that.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all came together to back each other up, mutual aid, and that's what you're going to see a lot more of. I tell you, we've got to put a dent in this crime, and you know, you're talking about 61 murders in Montgomery, and I think it was higher than that. We hadn't had the crime reported to the state in over 3 years. We don't know really what the crime is in Montgomery and Birmingham and some of these other places, but we're going to get a handle on that. I think that's the census for the whole body of the House and the Senate, and I think that we're going to take that as a top priority this year.
Well, you said we're talking here, State Representative Reed Ingram, the gentleman from Pike Road. You certainly have spearheaded a lot of that activity in the legislature with some of the bills that you're talking about are coming up in the upcoming session. What are some of the other bills that you're anticipating to see coming up in this legislative session that you and the people should be and are really interested in?
Well, I think as far as the bills, I think there are several crime bills that are coming throughout the state from other members, some local and some statewide bills. I think that we've got to take care of getting our law enforcement more money throughout the state to be able to recruit. I think we've got to look at, some of these bills that we've passed, like overtime bills, has cost us about $250 million. I think that, we've got to be able to take care of, it's kind of like getting on an airplane. You got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first so you can take care of everybody else. But there's some things on some bills that we need. Our revenue is up. Education is a top priority, like I was talking about. I would like to see something going back, and I know this is going to stir a hornet's nest in yours, but I'd like to go back and take a look at how much we're paying some of these players. I want to be able to keep the college organic and fired up and not have so many people transferred. But I know that's not up to us. That would be stimulated by the public, but to be able to change anything. But I just think that these players are getting paid too much, and being able to transfer to go to another college to get in the portal is it's real problematic to keep good players.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, Reed, because obviously we talk a lot about sports here, and you're seeing how NIL is playing out here in the state of Alabama and across the country. Is there anything the state legislature can do to add some guardrails, maybe a playbook, make some improvements? Have you heard anything from your colleagues as well?
And I think, yes, I think we can, but you start putting restrictions on the state of Alabama, is like trying to control fire ants in your neighbor's yard. It's everybody's going to leave Alabama and go to Georgia or go wherever, and we don't want our players to leave. So we've got to have a collective effort throughout the country to be able to control this, and I think until everybody gets on board, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We're talking here again, State Representative Reed Ingram from District 75 in the State House. Of course, we mentioned you're a businessman. You are pro-business. You have been, and your family has been in business for a long time. Of course, you own Sweet Creek Farm Market. And of course, Ingram Motor Company was a staple for years and years in the state of Alabama. So the question now I've got to you is a personal one. You're extremely busy. You've got a lot of responsibilities business-wise, but you've got so many deep roots in the state of Alabama. Why public service for you? Why is that important to you with all of the different irons you've got in the fire otherwise?
Well, I think it was, and this may sound crazy, but I just think it was a God thing. I wanted to make a difference in the county. When I first ran, I was the only county commissioner, the only candidate at the time that lived in the unincorporated area. And I served 10 years on the county commission. And I think one day God just tapped me on the shoulder and asked me if I would step up. So I had no interest in politics. I've never, what I knew about politics, you could put in a thimble and still have room enough for a big house, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just, I feel like we're making a difference. And I don't think that anybody on a local level or anything that I do, people ought to get paid for, because I think they ought to do it because they want to do it. And we have a lot of people that have served in different parts of politics that are doing it for the insurance. I don't take the insurance for the state. I don't think that people should do it except for what they want to do to make a difference. And I think we've got a good team in the House right now. We've got a good team in the Senate, and we've got some good business people. And I love the state. I love this county. I love the municipalities, even Montgomery, Elmore County I represent too. And I think we're moving it forward.
Reed Ingram, State Representative, District 75, joining us here today. Reed, I don't really, if you get for it or against it, doesn't really matter to me. I'm just interested, are we going to have gambling brought up again in the legislative session in 2025? I mean, I'm to the point now, Reed, where, I've been down that road too many times, and I'm not expecting anything to ever happen. It comes up, everybody gets excited, and then at the last minute it crashes and burns. But I guess my question is it going to get brought up again?
Well, I've voted no every time, and I think yes. To answer your question, yes, it's going to come back up. The reason I voted no is because a lot of these, what's in the bill is not healthy for the state. This last one had casinos up and down 65, and it just, I don't want that image in our state. A lot of these people that are going to be owning these casinos will be controlling every politician on a local level and a state level. They'll be picking out who's going to be your governor. And I think that's too much. I'm okay with the lottery, but every time the lottery comes up, they want to put casinos in there. So until we just have a lottery, I'm a hard no, because we don't need that kind of mafia mindset in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, there's usually has been a history of a lot of pork in those,
no doubt,
in those motions.
Let me whittle it down then, because there again, we're sports guys. What about sports wagering all across the country? You see it. Alabama's one of the few states that does not offer that. If you eliminated the casinos but allowed sports wagering to go along with the lottery.
Well, as you know now, you have it, and we're not getting a piece of it. And I think if we could go in and restrict it to make sure these young boys and girls don't get in and get addicted, and make sure we're, pretty solid on that, then I don't have a problem with it, because it's being done now. We may as well reel it in and get some money off of it, but we've also got to keep it to where it's friendly to our young people.
Well, Representative Reed Ingram, representing District 75 in the Alabama House from Pike Road. You've gone and done it now, Representative. This has been, we appreciate your forthrightness and your candor. We appreciate your availability here. Well, all that means to us is we got to get you on again real soon. How about it?
I'd love to. Count me in, guys. Hey, Happy New Year. And I'd love to come on in person one day. Thank you for what you do and the wisdom for this state.
Hey, thank you, Reed. We really appreciate that. Reed Ingram, State Representative, District 75. Reed's like me, Barry. I mean, I like casinos. I just don't want them in my own backyard.
Right.
I mean, is that, does that kind of, wait a minute, how do you like them, but you don't want them in your own backyard?
Well, great to have him with us. Lots more still to come, not too far away from a visit with the Phantom.
Speaking of sports wagering.
That's coming up. We're at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway, in association with Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Book tee time sooner. Save on every round. That's what you get with the 2025 RTJ Trail Card. Destination Golf is closer than you might think. Buy a 2025 Trail Card and save every time you play. Plus, you will be automatically entered into the Trails Loyalty Program. Enjoy 10-day advance reservation privileges at each location. 11-day advanced internet tee times on rtjgolf.com and the RTJ app. Enjoy the benefits of a 2025 Trail Card. It makes for a great stocking stuffer, and you save on every round you play in 2025 on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air rallies for you. No matter the problem, Dixie will tackle it. Their licensed and trusted electricians, plumbers, air and garage door technicians are ready to win for you. From toilets to garbage disposals, circuit breakers to HVAC systems, Dixie never fumbles. Don't throw away your hard-earned money on second-string contracting companies. Score big with Dixie. After all, they are your biggest fan. Visit calldixie.com or dial them up locally at 262-2946.
5 minutes until the top of the hour here on a cold Friday morning. I just walked out, I wanted to see if it was any colder than when we got here. It feels colder. I don't know what it is. It just felt a little colder out there. Maybe because I didn't have my jacket on. Maybe that had something to do with it.
We do have the Phantom coming up. We do have Ralph Michaels coming up. We do have the topic wheel, and it's a busy topic wheel because we have got a ton of football. I mean, a bunch.
Looking forward to that.
Yep.
We also got a lot of good SEC basketball tomorrow. Every team is in competition. 8 conference games tomorrow, and it starts with Auburn at South Carolina. That's the first one on the docket tomorrow.
Yeah, it's at noon on the SEC network tomorrow. South Carolina really needs to win this one, but golly, Auburn is just so good. They honestly are. Alabama takes on Texas A&M from College Station tomorrow night. That's the feature game. That's ESPN tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Other games of interest, you heard Bart Heitch talk about this. They're going to be amped at the Hump tomorrow night, 7:30 on the SEC network. Number 6 Kentucky takes on number 14 Mississippi State. The Bulldogs are 14-1, and Bart is all about them. So it's just a great day. Last night was a great night. Today is going to be good with Ohio State and Texas. Tomorrow, you've got NFL football starting in the wild card and so many good games. Baltimore and Pittsburgh is the one I'm interested in, even though Baltimore, Robbie, is a 10-point favorite. More on that later, possibly?
Possibly.
Robbie, I'm just hoping they let you down easy. I'm trying to think of the best thing for Robbie, who's a huge Steelers fan. I think the best thing for Robbie would be for Lamar Jackson to go just absolutely crazy, get Baltimore up early 20-0, and remove all suspense and let him start to begin the healing process for Robbie from Greenville.
I'm still very concerned, Barry, and I've not gotten an update. And we got a lot of friends down in Butler County, Big C, of course, Brian Reynolds at Cambrian Ridge, the mayor. I mean, we got them all. My Saints ticket guy.
The chairman of the Butler County Commodore Club.
Gern, a lot of good folks down there in Butler County. Nobody has reported back. How is Robbie going to watch the Steeler game and Alabama basketball at the same time? It cannot be done unless you bring in 2 televisions.
Or a laptop and a television, or a phone and a television.
I don't know.
It's going to be rough on him, no question at all. Here's something, and again, tomorrow is the Chargers in Houston at 3:30. That is on CBS. You got Steelers Baltimore. John's right. That's on Amazon Prime. That's tomorrow. And then Sunday, Denver at Buffalo at noon. That is on CBS. Fox has Green Bay and Philly at 3:30. And then Sunday night, it's NBC for Washington versus Tampa Bay. The Monday game on ABC is Minnesota against Los Angeles. I don't know what the Phantom is playing, what the
we're about to find out.
What the opinions are or anything, but I've got one for you.
All right, let me hear it.
Watch out for the Baltimore Ravens. Number one, Lamar Jackson is so much better as an NFL quarterback than I thought he would ever be. For somebody who says, yeah, Jalen Milroe, you know, he runs fast and he's got a rocket arm, but he's not a... Look, when Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy for Louisville just because he was just physically superior to everybody else, yeah, but how would that play in the NFL? Well, he's got 2 MVPs, and he very likely would win another one. He's been amazing.
Okay, I know they have not been to the Super Bowl. Have they been to the AFC Championship game with Lamar?
They've been to the championship game. Here's my deal. I don't know about trends and stuff. That's the Phantom's line of business.
Sure.
The Ravens have won the Super Bowl in this millennium every 12 years.
Didn't the last time they win it, the quarterback was the current UAB head football coach?
No, that was the first time.
First time. Okay.
The Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2001.
All right.
When Trent Dilfer was the quarterback. Trent Dilfer was 28, and they say he won the Super Bowl. No,
he didn't.
He was on the team.
He didn't lose the Super Bowl.
It was that defense. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, those guys won the Super Bowl. Anyway, they won it in 2001. 12 years later, they won it in 2013. Their quarterback was Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
He was 28 years old. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do see where you're working.
And now, 12 years after that, it's 2025. The Ravens are in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is the quarterback. Guess how old Lamar Jackson is?
I'm going to take a guess and say 28.
28 years old.
28.
Watch out for the Baltimore Ravens.
Man,
History has a tendency, and the Phantom will tell you, to repeat itself.
That is a very, very interesting trend. I might throw that one on Ralph Michaels, see if he knows that
and
later
he probably
today.
does.
That is very, Cowherd is in love with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I love him
talking
too.
about this guy for 2 years, but he's got to get over the hump and win that Super Bowl. Maybe this is their year. So I'm looking forward to that game. Should be a good one. Can they get over on Kansas City? I think that's what everybody's expecting to happen. Does Buffalo get in on the mix there? Does Bo Nix, does he just shock the world tomorrow on the road? The former Oregon quarterback?
What a story that would be.
Man, that would just be incredible. So it should be a fun weekend. Of course, we are here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. And we want to tell you, and sometimes we just don't give certain areas or certain people or whatever it may be the love they deserve.
We're busy people. We got a lot going on. Sometimes just because of the sheer volume of other things to talk about, we might not give certain topics, Auburn, and not of opportunity that they need, and quite frankly, that they deserve.
Well, and that maybe we just have not talked about the Lincoln lineup as much as we should have. We're sitting right here next to a Lincoln Aviator. Right here, beautiful automobile SUV, and they've got them at incredible prices and a great selection. But listen to this, Barry, the Lincoln Navigator. I mean,
which is the car behind this.
Oh, just beautiful. I mean, a full-size SUV up to $16,000 off MSRP. Lincoln Navigator or 0% for 60 months. So many different ones to choose from. I mean, beautiful top of the line, all the bells and whistles. 2024 Lincoln Crosshair up to $8,000 off, or a plus 0% for 60 months. And of course, the Lincoln Nautilus up to $8,000 off plus 2.9% for 36 months. Just a couple of examples of the great Lincoln lineup, Lincoln luxury for less here at Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery. Hey, don't overlook Lincoln, man. I'm telling you, they are beautiful vehicles, and you're getting them at incredible savings as we start off 2025 here at Stivers in Montgomery. And of course, the Ford lineup, we just can't say enough about it. I mean, as you drive into the lot, you just see the dealership growing and growing and growing because they've got to have more space to put these vehicles on, Barry. I don't think there's a dealership in the state of Alabama that has as many vehicles on the lot as Stivers does here in Montgomery.
And you wonder why? It's because they move so many vehicles off the lot.
Yep.
They turn and turn and turn. It's like a song from the Birds. They turn, turn, turn. They bring them in because they can move them out. And they always, always, always make sure they're fully stocked. Nobody stocks more. John's right. At Stivers, Detroit loves them.
They do.
Because Price sells cars and nobody beats the prices at Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery.
Before I move out to let the Phantom come in, Barry, getting a lot of text and emails and tweets today, photos from across the state. Birmingham, a lot of snow up there. Tuscaloosa. Number 3 child turns 19 today, Barry. He's a freshman at Alabama. 4 inches on the ground at the Capstone.
Yeah.
We had a snow day one time when I was in school. They canceled classes, which I didn't think they were. What are these kids going to do if we cancel classes? It was Darty. That's called a day party all day.
Oh, okay.
So it will be Party City in T-Town if they cut. Well, they're going to cut class. They're going to call classes. 4 inches in Tuscaloosa, about the same in Birmingham. So we missed it here in Montgomery, but boy, north of us, they look like they got a lot of the white stuff.
Yeah, John used to. You think there was no betting in college when John was in school? John would bet, oh, they're going to call classes tomorrow. They've got to call classes.
I mean,
and the next day they'd have classes, and John's like, well, I turned up snake eyes on that one.
I said,
hey, he ain't going anyway.
What I meant to say is I'm calling classes.
That's exactly
That's
right.
what I meant. It didn't have to snow. It could just be like 28 degrees. That was good enough.
You're right. We've gotten a lot of pictures of a lot of snow from a lot of people on my phone. As a matter of fact, the pictures I got of snow in the state of Alabama have finally this morning exceeded the number of pictures people have sent me of the Cavender twins. So we appreciate that. I know what they look like.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. You don't have to send me a picture of them. I know. Maybe that is the reason why Carson Beck looks like he's transferring to Miami. There have been worse reasons to transfer.
Hey, I hear you, young man. I hear you. I get it. All right, let me get out of the way. Let the Phantom come in and make an appearance here. I'm going to go get some coffee. I'll let Gerd put up the Phantom slide. And
I'll catch you up with what he says a little bit later on. But it is time once again to bring in the Phantom, presented by River Region Straw. Kenny and the staff, they excel in days like today when it's cold outside and you need some premium aged firewood. They've got it at River Region Straw. Plus, they can bring you premium long needle pine straw as well. They can spread it, they can deliver it in whatever size you want. No order too big or too small. All you got to do is call or text Kenny 669-5959 at River Region Straw as we bring in the Phantom.
Appreciate that. Him. Yep.
Phantom is here with us. And Phantom, golly, how long has it been for you and Kenny and River Region?
Well, really want to thank Kenny and his great staff out there. Barry, you're right. The temperatures, as cold as they are, you're going to need some of that premium seasoned firewood from River Region Straw. Call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. As a matter of fact, the associates at Phantom Enterprises, that's Mrs. Phantom, told me.
Associate. She's the CEO. What are you talking about?
She told me yesterday, you need to call Kenny. We need some more firewood. So, we use Kenny as well. And I'm telling you, it's great. So give Kenny a call today, 669-5959. Really looking forward to this weekend, Barry. Took it on the chin last night. We had Penn State catching the point in the first semifinal game of the college football playoff. Notre Dame went on to win. So we took a loss there, but we've got Ohio State tonight. We released that yesterday. We like Ohio State. Lay the number against Texas. We think Ohio State can win that one by double digits tonight.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to Ohio State Notre Dame National Championship on Monday, January 20th, which just happens to also be MLK Day and Inauguration Day and the National Championship. That's a lot going on Monday the 20th.
Not kidding, no doubt about it. Okay, so that's that jives with what Robbie from Greenville, who, by the way, is up now and has already texted about 5 times.
Awesome, Robbie.
All right, Phantom, what have we got? Where do we begin?
Well, we go, and I heard your interview with State Representative Reed Ingram, so I want to make sure. Gambling is illegal in this state.
Yeah.
So this is
as much as it pains the Phantom to say it, that is a fact.
It is true. So this is for amusement purposes only, Barry. Do with it what you will. But if you're in a state where you can gamble, which is about 45 out of the 50, I'm told, go for it. So want to get that out of the way. This is for amusement purposes only.
Every one of the Phantoms 4 are in order of kickoff time.
Yes.
None is weighted more than the other, or none is a triple super 5-star or double singer or anything like that. He believes equally in every one of them. As we get started with kickoff time.
Yes. And Barry, we will have 5 picks today because there's we do every playoff game. We're not going to do Monday until Monday because there is a Monday playoff game, but we're going to do
the 5 today.
The 5 that are going to be played over the weekend.
And believe me, the Phantom can sit here and bore you with anecdotes and stories about how important it is to get in before kickoff time, because even the Phantom has been a minute late, 30 seconds late.
Brutal.
And you might as well be 3 hours late. I know a lot of people out there probably can tell their own story.
Yeah, you better make sure your watch battery is working properly, because local man, he's heard every excuse. You think your teachers heard excuses back in the day? Local man's heard them as well.
We start tomorrow.
All right.
NFL Wildcard Weekend begins on CBS tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 from Houston.
Yes.
Where the Los Angeles Chargers under Jim Harbaugh are favored against the Houston Texans. Chargers a road favorite, -3 in that wild card opener.
Yeah, it's still hard for me, Barry, to refer to them as the LA Chargers. It's just, there's the San Diego Chargers. What happened down there? I mean, why did they leave San Diego? I mean, they had some great teams back in the day. Eric Coryell.
Don Coryell, Kellen Winslow.
Man, I don't know what the deal was. But anyway, you're right. Chargers laying 3 on the road at Houston. Barry, the Chargers have played every week since October. Hadn't had an off week. They've been playing a lot of football. This is also the Chargers' 3rd road game in a row. Including a cross-country trip to take on the Patriots in Week 17. Now, ESPN's Power Index tells me that the Chargers also played the easiest schedule in the league this year. Easiest schedule.
How did that work?
I think there's a Major League Baseball team that plays a pretty easy schedule every year, too.
The Braves.
I'm not expecting the Texans to make a deep playoff run. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now.
All right, okay.
But I think this opening line's a little out of whack, Barry. A home dog of 3 points in a matchup like this. I like the way the Texans play. I like their young quarterback. I like their young coach. They're rebuilding. Good defense. Stingy. I like that 3. I'm taking the 3 at home and the Texans. A lot of NFL games are decided by 3 points or less. I like the 3 here, folks, and I can see the Texans winning it outright.
Some of you newbies out there saying, yeah, but who? He likes the Texans to win the game outright. They don't have to.
They don't have to. You're right about that.
Just get in under the 3 to get us started in the Phantom 5.
I mean, it's kind of, Barry, a little bit like if you're not gonna cover, I hope you lose.
Yeah.
So
I don't want you to be happy if you ain't making me happy.
Exactly. I mean, the Texans can lose, but we can still win.
That's right.
I learned that as a young Phantom back in the day. I was like 8 or 9. I went, golly, gee whiz, Dad, we lost. No, we didn't, son.
But yeah, look at the score, Dad. I know. Yeah.
He explained it to me as a young tyke back in the day.
Yeah, just like the Phantom's kids, the little Phantoms, had to explain to the Phantom how to watch NFL football on Prime Video. Oof. See, Dad, it's underneath all of these herbal supplements that I bought on Amazon Prime and all of the makeup and all that kind of stuff. You just do it. Okay, all right.
Can I sidebar just for a moment about Amazon? I like to talk about good companies.
Yes.
I had a great experience with them. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I didn't know I was. I think my oldest daughter signed me up for it because they can get their stuff like the next day or something. Anyway, I'm on. It's good. I enjoy it. We do stuff through Amazon. So then I found out that the TV package comes with it. I'm ordering stuff off the internet, but I get free TV on my Prime deal. I'm thinking, wow, this is great. Well, about less than a week ago, Barry, our cat passed away. It's been a tough week for the missus.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. Oh,
That was the
boy.
cat that used to try to interrupt you during the show at
Correct.
your home studio saying,
Yes.
will you go to break and get me outside? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, the cat, it's an old cat. We have
Oh.
a lot of love for the cat, but cat is in kitty heaven. And so about 2 days later, I get this flea treatment that I get from Amazon.
Oh,
They
that
send
you
it
get,
every 6
yeah,
months.
that you subscribe. This is how the
And-
Phantom lives. He has a subscription for flea treatment.
Yeah,
for the
so I
cat.
put and it shows up like 3 days after the cat died. I went, ooh, I don't need this anymore. So I called up Amazon and I explained the situation. I said, can I send it back? It's just, pretty expensive stuff. She said, sir, you just keep it. We'll credit your account. I thought, I don't need it anymore. But nope, you just keep it. You might get a new cat. You keep it. We'll credit your account. I thought,
So
wow, what a business.
If
man.
anybody out there has a cat without the flea treatment, get in touch with the Phantom because he
Yeah.
can hook you up. Yeah, they're super easy to return
Man,
stuff to.
no kidding. I was
there-
blown away.
And they also offer Amazon Prime Video, which we subscribe to, which is also the only way you're going to get to watch tomorrow night's game between the Steelers and the Ravens from Baltimore. 7 o'clock start time, Phantom. Ravens playing at home against the Steelers. That's a huge rivalry anyway. So the Ravens -10, how does that strike you?
I listened to this, Barry. It's very interesting, which I hope all of my breakdowns are, but this one really caught my attention.
They are.
Baltimore laying 10 points in this matchup. These teams played in Baltimore just 3 weeks ago.
And
the Ravens closed as a 7.5-point home favorite. Steelers' number one receiver, George Pickens, did not play in that game.
He did not.
But he's going to return for the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Ravens' number one receiver, Zay Flowers, suffered a knee injury in Week 18 against the Browns. Not so sure he's playing. Pittsburgh got its top weapon back while Baltimore lost its top receiver. Yet, the Ravens are laying a bigger number tomorrow than they were 3 weeks ago. No way. I am taking the points, Bear, and I'm taking the Steelers not to win,
No.
but to cover the 10 at Baltimore. How about
is-
that?
That is a lot.
I like
A
them to
lot.
cover that number. All right, that's 2 down. That's the
Yep.
2 Saturday
That's
games.
the Saturday schedule. That's the Saturday card. There are 3. Oh, it's a smorgasbord on
Love it.
Sunday, starting at noon on CBS.
Yeah.
In what's bound to be snowy Buffalo. Former Auburn quarterback Bo Nix
Whoa.
and the Denver Broncos
Thought he played in
travel to
Auburn.
take on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills Sunday at noon. Bills have had a spectacular year.
They have.
And they're favored by 8.5.
Yeah, check that kickoff, Barry. It's 3:30 tomorrow, but on Sunday, the normal 12 o'clock
Yep.
kick. So if the preacher's running a little long, just telling you, yep, you might want to go to early
Hey,
church.
Reverend.
Yeah, get it going. All right, Broncos at Bills. Bills laying 8.5. Josh Allen, Barry, you
Yes.
might not remember, lost his first playoff appearance against Houston a few years ago. In this era of the NFL, it's almost a rite of passage for young quarterbacks to, go on the road, lose your first playoff game, get it out of your system, experience the growth, get better moving forward. It's a learning, it's a life lesson.
It's kind of like me and my prom date,
That's
All right, you
right.
get the first no out of the way, and then, okay, now you're in business. Here we go.
I
Now
think this number's a little too high, Barry. I really do. But maybe justified because of how rookie quarterbacks have performed in these spots. I like Josh Allen. I think he's kind of really playing maybe at a top level. I like the
Agreed.
weapons around him. The weather could be a factor, but it's cold in Denver too. So I'm not sure the Broncos are going to be affected too much. You're laying 8.5. I'm going to go ahead and do it here, Barry. I'm going to lay the 8.5 and take Buffalo to win by 10 or more. I'm just not sold. And I love what Sean Payton and Bo Nix have done. They're a great match. I don't know if another NFL franchise that Bo Nix could have gone to that would have been better than Sean Payton and the Broncos.
You've talked about that before, Phantom. I know Ralph Michaels has so much of what, especially a quarterback, is able to produce in the NFL is because of fit, just getting the right situation. By the way, that's the first of the first three from the Phantom where he's actually picked a favorite.
How about, you noticed that?
Interesting.
I've always been kind of a dog guy for some reason. I don't know.
It's the first of three on Sunday, and then Bills minus 8.5 is the Phantom's pick. You go 3:30 on Fox.
3:30, love it.
In Philly, where the Packers and the Eagles match up, and Philadelphia is a 4.5-point favorite in that one.
Yep, they are 4.5-point favorite. I'm not sure Philadelphia's maybe the public doesn't think Philadelphia's getting the love. I'm not so sure. Since week 10, the Eagles are allowing over 16 points per game. And that includes 5 games against playoff teams.
Yes, not bad.
During the same time, the Packers defense has allowed 18 points per game. And that list of opponents includes, like the 49ers, Dolphins, Lions, Vikings, pretty good teams. Look for both teams to rely on the running game here, Barry. A little pounding, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, short passes early until both these quarterbacks can find a little rhythm. So in a lower scoring game, tight game, I like taking the points. We talked about it earlier. Most NFL games end in 3 points or less.
Right.
They're in Philly, but I'm taking the Packers and the points. I like the 4.5 here, particularly that hook, like that half point. 4.5, I'm taking Green Bay. I really like how they've been kind of under the radar, Barry. And Green Bay has played well all season long. I've seen them getting better week after week. I'm not saying upset, but it wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me.
The word is that Jalen Hurts will be cleared to play. He's missed the last 2 games with a concussion, so there's bound to be a little rust there.
Could be,
Phantom, even if he is out on
I'm
the
with
field.
you.
All right. We close out the Phantom 5 with a Sunday nighter. NBC from Raymond James Stadium, where Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Jalen Daniels-led Washington Commanders. Buccaneers -3 is what I'm showing, Phantom.
That's exactly right. This is the same stadium that Alabama and Michigan played in the ReliaQuest Bowl, I believe.
Well, Michigan played.
Yeah, wow. Yep, Bucks laying 3 here, Barry. Now, you got to go all the way back to September to find Washington's best road performance of the season.
September?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I don't know if it was the 21st night, but it was in September. Yeah. It was at Arizona and then at Cincinnati.
I think Earth, Wind, and Fire sang the national anthem.
They might have.
Maybe.
Or I think Wind did, because I think Earth's passed away.
Yeah, and Fire's too old.
Yeah. In a tight game like this, you also must take a closer look at special teams. We've already referenced it, 3 points or less. I'm not sure you know who Washington's kicker was. Austin Seibert was injured in mid-November. How does a kicker get injured? Pull groin or something?
Turf toe?
Turf toe. He was replaced by Zane Gonzalez. You know Zane.
Yeah, I remember Zane Scatterfoot Gonzalez. Yeah, I remember him real well.
Sure. Not to be confused with Speedy.
No, he is not.
He's not Speedy
Gonzalez. No.
Prior to this run with the Commanders, Gonzalez has not played since 2021 and has never kicked in a playoff game.
Yep.
Details like that very matter this time of the season.
Special teams. Is there a stone that the Phantom does not turn over in search of an edge?
And I got to tell you,
special teams.
Say what you will about Baker Mayfield. He's playing pretty well.
No doubt.
He's playing pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm laying the 3. The Bucks win by 6 in this matchup. So here's a quick recap.
5 games, remember.
Yep, these are the 5 over the weekend in the NFL wildcard weekend. Tomorrow, 3:30, I like the Texans at home catching 3.
Right.
Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Baltimore's laying 10 against Pittsburgh. I think it's too many. I'm going to grab the 10. We're going to sneak in underneath it. Sunday at 12 noon in Buffalo, the Bills are laying 8.5 against the Broncos. It's a big number, but I'm going to lay it. I think Buffalo wins by 10.
All right.
3:30 on Sunday. You got the Eagles hosting the Packers. Eagles minus 4.5. I like the Packers to cover. Wouldn't surprise me if they won outright. And on Sunday night, the Bucks laying 3 hosting the Commanders. I'm going to lay the 3 and take Tampa Bay to win by 6.
All of this, every bit of it, every word brought to you by River Region Straw.
Yep, that's right. And I will give you this, Barry, because I mentioned it yesterday, just so if you'd missed it. I do like Ohio State tonight, laying the points against Texas. Lost last night. I had Penn State catching the one.
Oh.
We're going to go with Ohio State laying the number here tonight against Texas. You're right, River Region Strawberry. It's cold outside. Call or text Kenny today for some seasoned firewood. You'll stay warm all winter long with firewood from River Region Straw. Call or text Kenny today, 669-5959.
A little bit later on, we'll visit it with Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet and Wager Talk. Bound to be some good information. There always is. We are live at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery. John Longshore will rejoin the broadcast when we come back. In association with Yellowhammer News, it's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, this is Barry McKnight from Longshore and McKnight, telling you about our friends at River Region Straw. You're not buying sticks or stems and pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color, that'll last all season long. They've got locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small. From a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load, River Region Straw also has seasoned firewood for the cold days and nights ahead. Pickup is available, and your order can be delivered if you like. They can even spread your pine straw if that's what you want to have happen, for sure. Call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw and firewood needs at River Region Straw.
The old Packer line of
kick or receive, with the wind or against the wind. Buy your friend a Bud Light. Buy a stranger a Bud Light. Go to your team's bar. Go to the opposing team's bar. Buy around during the next truck commercial. Buy around during the next Talking Duck commercial. If you're truly up for whatever this weekend, grab the perfect beer for whatever happens. Crisp, refreshing Bud Light. Make two plans and let the NFL coin toss make the call. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
Okay, back at it here on this cold Friday from Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. A lot of NFL action. We got a semifinal in the college football playoff tonight. SEC basketball tomorrow. Big slate of games in the league tomorrow. So we got a lot to talk about. And our man Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet joining us here today, as he does each and every Friday. And Ralph, I hope it's warmer where you are, because here in the deep South, we are freaking out. There's snow all over the state, icy roads. It's cold, and people here in Alabama don't know how to deal with it.
You know, I am further south. I am deep in the south of Florida, and I have a friend coming to visit from Wager Talk next week, and I sent him a screenshot 2 nights ago with a 39-degree temperature. So I'm about 20 miles from Naples. So when Florida gets that cold, you guys know the snow is heading your direction.
Oh, we don't like to tell people too much about Naples and Sarasota and Bradenton and Venice, because we want to keep it on the down low, because that's a beautiful area for sure. We don't want too many people there. I got to tell you, Ralph, here on this program and beforehand, people are kind of liking what they're hearing from you. I've had a lot of people say that if they don't listen to the whole show on Friday, they set their alarm so they don't miss Ralph. We appreciate all that from you, and we certainly respect all of the work and research and number crunching you do with everything that you present.
Appreciate it, guys. It was a great season this past season, and looking forward to a wonderful 2025, continuing on with the Longshore and McKnight show at Stivers.
Yes.
Where we are.
Yep.
Yeah,
Papers in
got a
them.
beautiful Lincoln Aviator here behind us today. We're going to try to drive off in it when we wrap up. Ralph,
The Lincoln Aviators now is more than my parents bought their house for. So, nothing against divers, but I'm telling you, they have a little local casino here in Immokalee, and I went and they were giving away an Escalade right around Christmas time. And I looked at the sticker and it was 119,000. My eyes popped out of my head.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Ralph, just your thoughts about last night's semifinal game, and then maybe talk about tonight's game, Ohio State and Texas.
Listen, I read a couple stories. Notre Dame was the better team. I don't think they were the better team. Obviously, turnovers are so costly. The two that Penn State got them their lead. The one at the end of the game. I will say this, I'm not a huge Drew Aller fan. I'm not a Penn State fan, but I absolutely hate when one kid makes one mistake to cost someone a game. You know what I mean? You get blamed for it the rest of your life. It's not a kicker's fault if he misses a field goal. It's not that, it is that quarterback's fault for forcing that. But in that situation, it is what it is. Just to show you, last night's game, what you mentioned, it was a 1 point line that Notre Dame covered. The look aheads prior to last night, you could have bet Ohio State minus 9.5 versus Penn State, or Ohio State minus 8.5 against Notre Dame. So we'll see after the Buckeyes play what that new line opens up, but at least it gives you a gauge at what the experts thought prior to these teams lining up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding.
You mentioned that you didn't think that Notre Dame was necessarily the better team. Tonight, do you think Ohio State's the better team, Ralph?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, it's, so much has been made of their run, but, I based the line. My line in this game was 8. But what I also said was this on a couple shows this week. With the talent Ohio State has, if they play to 100% of their ability and Texas plays to 100% of their ability, I make this line 14.
I'm with you. I see where you're going on that, Ralph. I get it. In the last couple of times we've spoken with you, we've talked about Ohio State. They just look to me that Michigan loss, I think, kind of hit the reset button with them, the reality button. And to me, I've just seen a much better, more dominant team. The game against Tennessee and Oregon, I'm very impressed, and I think we'll see more of that tonight as well. What about the NFL wild card? Love the playoffs in the NFL.
Listen,
to me, it's just a totally different season.
John and I have been working together for 30 years. I don't know if Christmas morning he's more excited than he is on wild card weekend in the NFL. That's his favorite NFL week of the year, Ralph. What do you think? What are the trends in a wild card weekend to look out for?
It just so happens I have those, so thank you for asking. So first, let's say this. John, you had mentioned, dogs in the wild card and blah, blah, blah. So let me just go back. Since 2010, if you bet every wild card team, the under is 61%. So let's put that to the forefront. We're talking 61%, and it makes total sense because during the regular season, there are a bunch of sharp groups and betting syndicates that can move lines. But when you get to the playoffs, the public money is so strong and there's so much more public money that the publics tend to bet the overs. So often in the wild cards, I like waiting, not the original number, but I let the public bet it up a little bit and then wait till it comes down. I will say this. Home favorites of -7 and higher in the wild card are 10-6, 62.5%. So we're talking 14 years. We've only had 16 instances. So we haven't had that many wild card touchdown favorites. But a home favorite of -1 to -6.5, where you have two competitive teams, that home favorite is only 12 and 19 against the spread. That is 39% against the spread. And the unders have gone 61% to the under. And home dogs in the NFL wildcard round, 5 and 10 straight up, but 8, 6 and 1, 57% against the spread. So big home favorites and home dogs are fine. Those competitively priced home favorites from -1 to -6.5 have been money burners.
Ah,
It's so funny because, people, they're fans and, they remember, what they want to remember. They think, oh, it's got to be that this is the case. And that I think this is the case from what I've seen before. Ralph is here to tell you what has happened.
Yeah.
This is what's been, whatever your perceptions or your selective memories might be, this is what really has been going on, literally.
I'm going to jump in here and, I know you guys allow me to promo at the end of the show, but I'm going to say this. If you've never gone to my homepage, this morning is the morning you want to go. It's wagertalk.com. Go to the Ralph Michaels page or type in wt.buzz/RM. I have a playoff guide that is free that you can download. It lists the game logs for each team and what they did against teams that have winning records. It has 27 trends and angles. It breaks down the rounds by rounds. It gives you the history of the last 4 games. So if I may, I'm just going to throw out 3 random trends that are in that guide that follow the wild card. So if a wild card team has a total of 39 or more, and this is their first meeting of the year, there's a lot of divisions and there's a lot of rematches now with the NFL schedules. But if it's the first meeting of the year and the total is 39 or higher, 5 overs and 25 unders. That is 83.3% to the under. That applies to Buffalo and Houston this week.
I'm looking right at your page.
The caller said, oh my God, the Ravens defense is absolutely incredible. They are just going to shut out Pittsburgh. So when I went to the database, I think Baltimore has allowed 17, 10, and 2 points their last 3 games. So they've allowed 29 points the last 3 games combined. Wild card teams that have allowed 32 points or less in their last 3 games are only 22 and 26 ATS, 46%. And while we talked about unders and all those situations, a team that has an awesome defense playing in the wild card game, 37 overs, 13 unders. That is 74% to the over. So now let's say this. If you're listening and you're thinking about betting this, okay, we know the Baltimore-Pittsburgh situation is over. Let's cross that off. Think about how much stronger all those other over numbers are if we take this one subset out of it that has had 50 plays. That's pretty significant. So if we take that out, these over-unders in the wild card round jump to 74% to the under, makes it even stronger. And another thing I get asked all the time, we've seen Minnesota, historic season, 14 wins, yet they have to go on the road. We've seen Washington, a phenomenal season, a great job. They have to go on the road. The LA Chargers, a better record than Houston, and go on the road. When a road team has more wins and they have to visit a division winner, yet they have a better record, they are only 12 and 20, 37.5 against the spread. The over-under is 1 game over 50%, so 17 and 16. But those road teams, 12 and 21 straight up, 12, 20, and 1 with a push to the under. So it applies to the Chargers, Minnesota, and Washington. Don't be so quick to say, this team has more wins. They're the better team. I want to bet on them.
Well, Ralph does such a great job of efficiently cutting through the clouds and the smoke and the fluff and everything to give you, what is actually going on. He said to go to the website, and I'm looking at it now, wagertalk.com. My gosh, your website is packed with information, Ralph.
It is. I mean, not only the quality handicappers, and I've talked about this numerous times. If you go to my page, you can look at my last 20 plays. I had a nice 3-0 day yesterday. I'm very proud of that. But you can read some notes, some trends, what I thought about the games. So I want to bring up one more point that you brought up, John. You were talking about lower scoring games and playoffs. To me, the playoffs are the absolute number 1 best time to parlay teams. You may not want to parlay. Tease teams. I said parlay. I meant tease.
Okay.
Like, I used an NFL teaser and I teased your Buffalo down to 2.5. So now you only have to win. So the concept to a teaser is you want to try to get through 3 and 7 or down from over 7 to under 3. Those are the situations. They're called Wong teasers. He was a Stanford person a long time ago that came up with the math numbers. And during the playoffs, the results are almost 6% higher during the regular season because you know exactly what the line should be. You're not worrying about motivation. You're not worrying about if they're resting players. You have a legitimate team with a legitimate power rated number, and most of the time it comes to fruition. So if you haven't teased, there is value in the playoffs. And a few years ago, there was the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, every teaser won. So every teaser, let's say the game was pick. If you bet team A +6 or team B +6, you won. They got burned so bad on teasers. The next season, they did not allow teasers in the wild card round just because they were so close. So again, I don't want to get you betting them if you're not used to it because it's not the same value as a straight bet. But in the playoffs, it is a situation I'd look at very closely.
Man, so much great information from Ralph Michaels at Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet. Ralph, how can our viewers and our listeners get more of this information? Where do they find you, and how do they get to be more of a part of it?
Well, I load things up on Twitter all the time at CalSportsLV. And again, the Wager Talk NFL Playoff Guide, absolutely free on my homepage, wt.buzz/RM. Being informed is the only way to make a smart wager.
Words to live by. Ralph, as always, thank you so much. We're already looking forward to our next visit.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ralph. Great stuff. Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk, and the Gold Sheet. Man, that information is just incredible. And yeah, go to the website at Wager Talk. The information is there. You need to check it out. It is really, really good stuff. If you're interested in that. All right, Bear, we're live here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. 2025 has started off with a bang, and there are vehicles here for you to check out. I'm telling you, nobody has got a larger selection than what they have here at Stivers in Montgomery. Not only in and around the lot, but adjacent to it.
Yeah.
They have bought property all around this dealership because they need more space for all of the vehicles that they have here. The Ford Edge, you drive it up to $18,000, up to $11,000 off MSRP on a new Ford Edge. How about a Ford Ranger? I remember a friend of mine had a Ranger years ago when he was in high school. It's kind of the entry-level pickup, they call it, kind of a smaller version. Over 40 in stock, price thousands under invoice on the Ford Ranger. Check those out here at Stivers as well.
You want something reliable. You want something that is sturdy and can work, but still look great. The Ranger might just be the truck for you.
There's no doubt. The Ranger's a great value there for you. The Bronco, it's incredible how many Broncos I see on the road, Barry, and how popular they are. They've got the Bronco Sport, the Bronco Raptor. They've got Broncos in every trim package and level you can imagine, and the colors. I mean, they got so many different colors of the Bronco. Check those out as well. You can get incredible savings on the Bronco Sport as low as $25,990 or $8,000 off MSRP. Folks, these are just a few of the many deals going on with all the Ford products, the Lincoln Luxury for Less lineup. You're not going to find a better deal, better selection, or better service from their great sales associates. So what are you waiting on? Okay, if you want to go kick a tire somewhere else, go for it.
Yeah.
But you're going to end up right back here at Stivers.
We know it. We've seen it. We've lived it. Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway. Coming back, a lot on the chat line. Robbie has blown us up. Chris the Bammer wants to spin the wheel. And a very interesting point from Dewey Oxberger. We've got a lot to get to in the final 20 minutes of our live show with Longshore and McKnight in conjunction with Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight presented by Bud Light.
And for us, that has meant Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Well, it certainly has. And Mary Ann joining us here this morning from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Pepper Tree. And Mary Ann here today to tell us something very special. about the new Miss America, who was also Miss Alabama. And Marguerite has always had a unique affiliation with Miss Alabama. And now, as I mentioned, Miss America. Hey, Marianne, how are you today?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's amazing. I definitely wanted to hop on this morning and let you guys know, the listeners out there, you can seem really smart to your wives, girlfriends, whatever, if you realize that, hey, you know what, honey? Miss America, she's Miss Alabama. So that's a little tidbit out there to prove that you've been watching something other than football for the past few days. I know that it's been surrounding our lives here in Troy. And so Miss Alabama, or she's Miss America now, Abby Stockard, is going to begin her reign. And she is wearing a custom Marguerite's Miss Alabama necklace. We've been affiliated with the Miss Alabama organization for years, and probably close to 15. It was something Nan Tenenbaum is the sponsor, and I worked with her through my affiliation with the Miss Alabama organization. And so we carried it over because Lyle and Marguerite's, we really do make it. We thought it would be something really special to give a beautiful diamond necklace in 14 karat white gold to the reigning Miss Alabama at the beginning of her reign. I go every June or July to hand and to give the necklace. And this year we're just so excited that the Miss Alabama necklace is going to be making its rounds throughout the United States because Abby Stockard is Miss America.
That's a beautiful thing. She's from Vestavia Hills. She goes to school at Auburn. She led a field of 10 finalists and got the award yesterday. It's no surprise to me, Marianne, that out of those 10 finalists, 5 of them were from southern states. The South just has the prettiest women in America. Am I right?
We agree. So, yeah, that's why SEC schools are booming, because these guys, they want to go where the pretty girls are. Who wants to be in the cold in the Ivy Leagues? Come to the SEC or the Sun Belt.
There you go.
Yeah, you're exactly. So, Marianne, can our viewers and listeners come by Marguerite's and get that necklace, that similar necklace?
100% they can. We've got the castings ready to go. I don't know if it was just sending good vibes Abby's way, but we are fully stocked on those mountings and, of course, beautiful Marguerite's quality diamonds. So you can come and get the special beauty queen in your life a necklace. And it's never too early to be thinking about Valentine's Day, because it's
That's right.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask about that, but I did want to ask this in closing, Marianne. Last time we talked to you was at the big year-end sale, and you mentioned to us the reason why you have it every year is to clear the cases for new jewelry for 2025. I trust that everybody needs to come out there and take a look, because there's plenty of new items in the jewelry cases at Marguerite's.
Most definitely. Our jeweler is currently working on those pieces. We're on a bit of a sabbatical, but we're still available to take calls. If you have something pressing or an anniversary or birthday that you forgot, that we do take a little bit of a break. We're available via text and appointment. So 334-270-0074. And you can reach out to us, and we're happy to help you with that need. But yes, our jeweler is busy restocking those cases because it was our biggest sale to date. I looked around when we were putting up jewelry, and I was just like, we are not going to have enough to start this new year. I hope our jeweler is busy. So lucky for us, he is.
Outstanding. Marianne, thank you so much. That's exciting news, and we look forward to talking about it all week. Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry is at Pepper Tree Center, right next to Chappie's Deli, 8163 Vaughn Road in Montgomery, Alabama. And
all right, back at it here on a Friday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy and to enjoy. We're live here at Stivers Ford, where price sells cars. Let's start 2025 off on the right note here at Stivers. You've been dreaming about that vehicle? Let's make it a reality in 2025, where price sells cars at Stivers in Montgomery. You mentioned Dewey's chat.
I love our chatters. We're so appreciative of all of our viewers, even those who don't necessarily interact. They just like watching and listening. But the chatters are great, brought to you by River Region Straw. And I noticed this last night. I'm a big Greg McElroy fan. To paraphrase Bobby Boucher in The Waterboy about Captain Insano, I believe he was slightly discourteous whenever he threw that bomb to whoever it was, Roy Upchurch, when Alabama was already up 42-0.
That was Senator Tuberville's last game.
Yes.
At Auburn.
Yes.
That was the 36-0. What they call that, the Bryant Denny beatdown.
Yeah. But there's also been a 49-0.
Yeah.
When Chiswick was the coach.
And that game, though, Barry, I've never seen Bama fans actually feel sorry for Auburn.
I mean, like at halftime.
Yeah.
They're all looking at each other going, ooh.
Yeah, this isn't good. Yeah.
To Auburn.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Anyway, I love Greg McElroy. I mean, for God's sakes, he's doing national semifinals on television. And I thought he was right about this. Dewey Oxberger says, I might have missed it, but if you talked about McElroy saying Notre Dame should not score a touchdown late in the game if they had a breakaway because they should run the clock out instead. Yeah, I did see that. And it sparked a conversation between my wife, Dee, and me. We were watching it together. And I don't know how Dewey feels about it or why he brought it up, but I agreed with it 100%.
Yeah.
Notre Dame had gotten the interception. They had plenty of time. They had a timeout or two. They wanted to save the timeout, obviously, to kick the field goal. They were in the catbird seat. And McDonough was talking strategy because Notre Dame was running the football and, they were trying to position it between the hash marks and stuff. And McElroy says, well, if the kid happens to break through and he's running for a touchdown, it's tied at 20-24, he should just take a knee at like the 3-yard line. And of course, Dee, who knows football inside and out, she agreed with it. And she asked me what I thought. I said, absolutely. All right, you get a touchdown. You get a breakaway touchdown from whatever it was, so 35 yards out. You kick the extra point. You're up 7 with just a few seconds left. Penn State could get a Hail Mary. Somebody could fall down in a defensive backfield for Notre Dame. Heck, they can kick off and the Penn State guy could run it for a touchdown. I totally believe in the take a knee, especially if the line is 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You take a knee.
Don't get crazy.
At the 3-yard line, you center the ball up in the middle of the field, next couple of plays. You run the clock down to 2 seconds, take the timeout, kick the field goal, which would be at that point about a 19-yard field goal. And there ain't no way Penn State can run the kickoff back or, have the Hail Mary. Game's over at that point. I totally
I like
get
that a lot.
what McElroy was saying.
I like the strategy part of it. Now, some people will disagree with me when it's the flip side of that, Barry. This was years ago. We were on different sides of it. It was a Bears-Packers game years ago, and the Packers defense just let the Bears score. They had it inside the 5, and they just hiked the ball, and the Packers didn't even move.
Yeah.
I mean, they just stood there, and the announcers going, "Oh, wait, what happened here?" And whoever, Al Michaels or whatever, said they want Brett Favre to get the ball back. That's what they're trying to do. They don't want Chicago to bleed the clock.
And John was all for that.
Yeah.
He said, let them score. And I'm thinking, in the game of football, like anything, you need to try, right? I mean, you need to give it your best and put the shoulder to the wheel and all that. It was just a bad look to just, all right, there's the snap. It's like they were playing like it was an extra point defense.
But the thing, and I get it, it's a bad look, but do you let the Bears bleed the clock and you're screaming at do something? You got to do something. Well, the only thing you really can do to get the ball back is let them score and then hope a guy like Brett Favre, who's done it so many times before, can lead you down the field to put you in a position to win. I thought it was kind of exciting. You don't see it every day, but I get it. I thought that was a good point from McElroy as well. All right, Chris is about to jump off of a cliff if we don't spin the wheel. I know Gern's had it loaded and locked and ready to go. So, Gern, put up the Victoryland 777 topic wheel and let's see what's on it.
Big weekend at Victoryland.
You ain't kidding. Got that right.
Oh, look at this. There's a bunch.
Yeah, a lot of different colors we're going to go to.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot about it, Barry. Wild card, 5 games this weekend, but Ralph touched on it. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I really like the game Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night, Minnesota and Los Angeles on ABC, 7 o'clock. That's the 6th game of the wild card weekend, which John says is the best weekend in the NFL.
Yeah,
forget about, semifinals, forget about the Super Bowl, the wild card stuff, and the next round, pretty doggone good. The Chargers and the Texans, Saturday, tomorrow, 3:30. That's on CBS. Amazon Prime at 7. We'll have Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That's the biggest line of the wild card round, by the way. Baltimore favored by 10, Robbie. Also on Sunday, 3 games. Denver at Buffalo. That's noon on CBS. Green Bay at Philadelphia. That's 3:30 on Sunday on Fox. And then NBC Sunday night has Washington at Tampa Bay, where the Buccaneers are a 3-point favorite.
And I wonder, Barry, with all the horrific fires out there in L.A., I mean, is this going to, I don't know how far SoFi Stadium is. I know it's by LAX. It's kind of in that area.
Yeah.
But, boy, the pictures that we've seen coming out of Los Angeles and those surrounding areas,
that is bad. My brother lives in Hermosa Beach, and we've been keeping up with them, and it's north of where they are right now. By the way, that game will be, that Monday night game, Minnesota at the Rams, it's actually going to be at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. They have moved it. They made that announcement last night.
Okay, man, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin the wheel once again, Gern, and see what's up next. We got 4 more categories to get to. The Victorland 777 topic wheel. It is spinning around and around and around, and it goes. Oh, love SEC hoops, Barry. We got a full slate of SEC games. Every team is playing. It kicks off early with Auburn at South Carolina.
Yep, that's on the SEC network on Saturday at noon. Alabama at Texas A&M. To me, that's the best game
of the
SEC basketball card. It's going to be huge. That is at 7 o'clock on ESPN, by the way. Very, very important game for the Tide, and probably even more important for Texas A&M because they're playing at home. Also in the SEC, the other premier game is going to be outstanding. That'll be Kentucky at Mississippi State. That'll be at the hump. Mississippi State has only lost once. They're 14-1. They're at home against the number 6 Wildcats, who are 12-3. SEC Network Saturday night at 7:30. Elsewhere, Vanderbilt at Missouri, number 8 Florida at Arkansas, number 17 Oklahoma at Georgia, LSU at number 23 Ole Miss. Number 1 Tennessee takes on Texas in Austin, but regardless of the outcome of that game, Tennessee ain't going to be number 1 when the polls come out on Monday.
No,
there you
not even close.
Yep.
All right, couple of more categories here we can get to before the top of the hour. Our Victorland 777 topic wheel is going to spin yet again as we move on here from Stivers in Montgomery. Semi number 2. It's tonight, Barry.
Yeah.
If it's any like anything we saw last night, get ready because that was a great. Started out slow last night.
It did.
Ended really good. I know everybody's on Ohio State. I'm one of them, but they got to fool me. I just don't think Texas can hang with them.
Ohio State right now a 6-point favorite. The total is 53.5. ESPN tonight at 6:30. Ohio State comes in 12-2. They've already played 14 games.
Yep.
And they still have to play 2 more if they're going to win the championship. But Texas is 13-2. Because remember, Texas had to play a first-round game.
Yep.
So Texas, if they win the championship, they will have played 17 games. It's not that far. I mean, it's fairly far, but in Texas terms, it's not that far between Austin, Texas, and Dallas. The weather is going to be terrible, snow everywhere, but it is going to be inside at AT&T Stadium, so it should not affect the play itself.
So if they win it all, they play 17 games.
Yes.
Should I just go ahead and give you I hate it for them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, Montgomery Academy, to win a state championship, they have to play 17 games.
Yeah, I hate it for those
that's
young
too
kids.
many.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
All right, Gern, let's get the wheel going here. We're going to try to get to all of it before the top of the hour here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. And we're going to spin it with 2 more left. Our Victorland 777 topic wheel. Is it blue? Is it red? It looks like it's blue.
Broadcast.
And it's broadcast. I'm telling you, folks, you better get ready. And we've been telling Robbie all week, If you think you're going to watch NFL football the same way you've watched it forever, it's changing. You've seen it this year with Netflix, with Prime Video. I think probably something Amazon, something else I'm missing. Who knows? Pandora. Heck,
Paramount.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't keep up with them all. That's the way it's coming. Is that going to happen in college football too?
With like Amazon Prime hearing games and stuff? You already see ESPN Plus all over the place. I do a boatload of ESPN Plus games that are available streaming only, football as well. I think it's awesome, but I don't think it's going to be a monopoly. You'll see a lot of college games on other streaming services. Notre Dame is on Paramount Plus, but not exclusively on Paramount Plus. They're also on other things as well. I think that's the way things are going. I really do. And ESPN will be a big part of that, Disney and all that kind of stuff. I do think you better get ready.
A bar or a restaurant, I mean, they've got to subscribe to this stuff.
Correct.
If you want to watch the game tomorrow night, they better be a subscriber of Amazon Prime. Or you're watching Bama and Texas A&M on ESPN, which ain't a bad thing.
Yes.
All right, one more. Again, even though we've only got one more panel to make it official, it must be the rules clearly state, Barry.
The wheel must spin.
The wheel must spin.
Just like David Lee Roth told us, the cradle will rock, the wheel will spin.
And if you've seen Junior's grades, anyway, spin it there, Gerd, and let's see what's up next on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Slow.
And it's going to be, wait a minute, I think we've already spun it.
Oh, yep, there we go.
See it.
It's Trojans. He didn't throw it up there. There we go, Trojans.
There we go.
Lost last night. Had them on ESPN Plus.
There's
playing at home. They lose 74-73 to Texas State.
Tough one. Free throw at the end.
Yeah, no kidding. With 1.1 seconds to go. Basketball again at Trojan Arena tomorrow afternoon at 3:33.
3:33.
And it's against Arkansas State, which is which lost yesterday as well. Former Alabama assistant coach Brian Hodgson coaches the Red Wolves. Halftime performance, the halftime dogs. That's the Frisbee catching dogs returning to Trojan Arena. A replica jersey giveaway presented for the first 300 fans. A replica number 6 jersey to help be the 6th man and help the Trojans continue their hot start as well. Tickets available for that matchup tomorrow, 3:33 at TroyTrojans.com/tickets or by calling toll-free 1-877-878-WINS.
I like that. Wins.
There you go.
You don't see anything that says 1716 or anything like that in that phone number.
1910.
Yeah, I like that. All right, Barry, we're here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery where Price sells cars. We're right here with this Lincoln Aviator right behind us. And Lincoln Luxury for Less is available here at Stivers Ford as well. A 24 Navigator up to $16,000 off MSRP or 0% for 60 months. What about a Corsair? Lincoln Corsair up to $8,000 off plus 0% for 60 months on the Corsair. And the Nautilus up to $8,000 off plus 2.9% APR for 36 months. That's just a few of the many great savings you're going to get on the Lincoln Luxury lineup for less, the Ford lineup, from the cars, the trucks, the SUVs. Nobody has more vehicles on the lot. Nobody has better sales associates, and nobody's got better prices. Take it from us. We're Stivers Car Owners. Price sells cars.
Our thanks very much to our producer, Gurren Jr. Also, thanks to State Representative Reed Ingram for joining us with an update. Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet and Wager Talk. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. In association with Yellowhammer News, it's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.